Hello, Da Vinci. Welcome back, or Da Vinci, as some of you have pointed out. This is our history lesson, our 12th lesson this term. So, can I express the importance of the ISS in developing mankind's understanding of space? Oh my goodness, how interesting. And can I use a wide vocabulary of everyday historical terms? So, let's move on. Today, we're going to be learning about the ISS. Now, talk to you, Teddy. What does the ISS stand for? We've been through this. I'd like you to know. What does the ISS stand for? Talk to your Teddy. Okay, so the ISS, I'm covering up the answer. The International Space Station. So we're going to go through a PowerPoint. We're going to find out some fantastic facts about the International Space Station. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's see if I can be a technological wizard. There we are. Here we go, the International Space Station, the ISS, and here it is, orbiting the Earth. The International Space Station is really like a giant, enormous satellite that humans can live in for a short amount of time. The ISS was built in different places on Earth. Different parts or modules were sent up into space over several years, and they joined together in space. So rather than sending this piece of machinery, if you will, or this big spaceship, rather than sending it up as all one big thing, they sent it up as little parts. So they sent it up as in this section and this section and this section and maybe this section down here, and they sent it up in a rocket and it blasted off into space. And then what they had to do is they had to try and connect it. It's like doing Lego, when you connect the Lego up to make something. It was like doing that in space. And if they didn't connect it right, then you wouldn't be able to breathe in the ISS. They had to make sure it was perfect. It was very, very advanced. So let's move on. The first part was taken into space in a NASA shuttle in 1998, and humans started living there 2 years later. So it took around about 2 years before they were confident that humans could live on it. Sections had been added over the years, and now the station is now considered to be complete. So they think that they've now finished it. They don't need to add any more. Countries around the world have worked together to build the ISS. The countries involved are the European countries, including the United Kingdom, the United States, Japan, Canada, Russia. So some of the European countries. And you can see actually, so looking here, you can potentially spot some of the flags on their uniforms that they've got. So it looks like you've got a United States one there, Russia. It looks like that might be Italy, that one. I'll have to find out. So we're going to watch a short clip now. It's in the playlist. So after this video, there should be the short clip that's going to show you about the ISS orbiting Earth. But I just cannot get over how amazing that photo is. You've got two people doing a spacewalk, and that's where you walk outside the ISS, you're attached to a cable and you're fixing things, or maybe you're doing some maintenance on things. And just to be outside in space, and you look around, you turn around, this person turns around, you can see the Earth behind you. Wow, how exciting. So I want you to go and watch this video, and then I want you to come back. We're going to go through some more facts. Right, so science in space. One of the main reasons for building the ISS was to allow for science experiments to be done in space. And you can see this person here is working on something now. They're putting their hands, what they do is they put their hands through these gaps, and sometimes they're completely sealed. So they're airtight, so no air can get in. And you put on these like big rubber gloves, and you're having to handle things inside this machine. But for this one, it looks like he's just got his arms through and he's only wearing like latex gloves, like plastic covering gloves, so that it's not as airtight, this one. But sometimes they do some really exciting experiments. Now, here are a few science experiments carried out. So plants were grown on the ISS. Tests were done to find out about the effects of living in space that can have on your human body. So what effects do you think living in space would have on your body? They've also been looking at how fire behaves in space, because it's quite interesting. Fire, you only can have a fire if you have oxygen, which is the air around us. And if you take away the oxygen, then fire can't start. Fire can't continue to burn, because it needs to burn that oxygen to be to stay lit. However, if you look at how fire behaves in space, it doesn't behave the same way as it does on Earth. So that's one of the reasons they've done an experiment. And melting metals and working with chemicals is very different in space. They wanted to explore that a bit more. The amazing view from Earth, from the International Space Station, while the ISS circles the Earth, the astronauts can see it below. So you can see this is the United Kingdom. This is where we live. And you can see, I think it is anyway. It looks a lot like it, but it looks very barren up in Scotland. I believe this does look like the United Kingdom. We've got Ireland over here. So I've only made one mistake. I do apologize. I have not got a capital letter for my E on Earth. That's my fault. I'm so sorry. Earth is a proper noun. It's the name of something, so it needs a capital E. Then here you can see Earth from space at night. So we've got our United Kingdom over here again, and then you've got places like France down here, and you've got Italy with the boot. And then you can see the rest of the countries around the world have all been lit up because they've got so many bright cities at night. You can see them from space. Now, it's what's really important is if you look where the cities are brightest, that's usually where, not always, but you can see like here, this is London, and you can see that's the brightest part of the United Kingdom, some would argue, and therefore that's where the busiest things are going on, and that's why it's so bright there, because that's a lot of light coming from one place, and that's where London is. And here you go, you've got the curvature of the Earth from space, and you can see how fantastic that looks from the ISS. How amazing. Wow, look at that. Man waving, and you've got the Earth behind him. Oh, to be an astronaut, eh? How fantastic. So it's your turn. What we're going to do is we're going to create an informational poster about the ISS. We're going to make sure we include at least 4 facts. So let's go over a few together. I'm going to jump back to my other smart, so that I can show you what a good one looks like. Here we go. Let's jump over. So your turn. We're going to go through a few together. So challenge 1, you're going to write, and I will tell you in a moment when I can see it. You're going to write 1 fact and draw a picture. Challenge 2, I'd like you to write 3 to 4 facts and draw a picture. And challenge 3, I'd like you to write 5 facts and draw a picture. Now, what I did was I highlighted some of the important information on that PowerPoint in red and in purple. And those are the key facts and some of the key words that you might need to include in your PowerPoint, no, in your poster. So if I jump back to my PowerPoint, you can see here, and you can obviously pause the video, you can go through a bit more. You can see here that this is some of the key experiments and key things that they've done on the ISS. So it's interesting for you to pause that video, collect those facts, and then do your challenge. And you've also then got this video that might give you any more facts to add on to it. That's everything for today, Da Vinci. I look forward to seeing your work on Tapestry. Thank you for doing so much fantastic work on Tapestry. I'm so impressed. You're doing amazing. Well done, Da Vinci. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.